of the most common questions that come up in the discussion of targeted individuals is who is targeting these individuals and why. When you hear a TI tell their story, many people listening have a hard time believing it because, like with many topics, there is a level of absurdity that one cannot just ignore. So, many targeted individuals are marginalized. Some people think that they are mistaken, delusional, irrational, paranoid. And as I mentioned before in another video, some of these people are in fact out of their mind. Not out of their mind in the sense of needing medication, but out of their mind in the sense that they subconsciously want to be targeted, and they will actually bring in or manifest things into their lives that will justify that. This is the flip-flop mentality of some people, folks. How many of you know people who cannot without leaving a trace of evidence? How can this be done? Well, simple. It's frequency. Manipulate it and change it. Our bodies and nature do this automatically. But we can also do this with our minds and with technology. This is all possible because of frequency. And not just frequency, but oscillation and vibration as well. These are the things that make up all matter. Shapes, colors, textures, solidity are all formed from the frequency patterns organized into geometries that are processed by our consciousness to give us our reality. Our cells, our organs, our bodies all have unique frequencies, and this community of different frequencies within our bodies come together to form an individual's unique signature that can be measured and sequenced using numbers. And this gives us the ability to give each person a unique frequency number that a person can then use to target you. But this is not without limitation, as your body's frequencies change. Your DNA, your consciousness, is what organizes these frequencies to form you. When your thoughts change, your DNA changes, and therefore your body changes. For example, a person's negative thinking could lead them into depression. The DNA changes to match that, lowering their frequency, changing the body's chemistry, and making them more susceptible to disease. And this is why people who are often depressed are often sick. Anything you eat will also change your body's frequencies. A frequency is the rate at which a particle vibrates and oscillates, as it phases in and out of our physical dimension. So the higher the frequency, the less dense and lighter matter becomes. The lower the frequency, the heavier and more dense matter becomes, because the phasing of the particles is less frequent. Now, there are things in our environment that emit frequencies that are not in harmony with the frequencies our bodies emit. This is a problem. Cell phones, laptops, televisions, Bluetooth devices, Wi-Fi devices, satellites, microwave ovens, GMO and other processed foods, drugs, all these things resonate frequencies or sounds that screw up our bodies on a daily basis. Understand that sound and light are the very fabric of our reality. This is why some people can see sounds and feel colors. So, when you are exposed to this electromagnetic chaos, it causes the disruption of the natural flow of energy in the body. A normal human being's frequency rate is usually between 62 and 78 megahertz. So, when you are exposed to or eat something that vibrates at a frequency lower than 60 megahertz, it can be toxic. Now, having a broader and deeper understanding of frequency can enable you to create frequency or electromagnetic weapons with ease. This is why there are so many patents for devices that use this science. That are not really new technologies, by the way. You can make a frequency weapon right in your own home. That's how easy it is to build these things. The reason I bring all this stuff up about frequencies is because you need to know how these weapons work if you do feel that you need to protect yourself from them. However, that is easier said than done. With patented V2K technology, these madmen can use a voice frequency modulator to create a voice and send that voice to you using microwaves. This is voice to skull. This is not a loud voice in your ears. It is more of a faint voice in your head that you would believe is a thought of your own. Now, they can't just feed you any thought that they want. It has to be based on something you already know. In other words, they cannot transmit a complete thought. They transmit a suggestion, like in hypnosis, and your brain fills in the blanks, thus altering your line of thinking so that you start dwelling on things they want you to focus on. This causes changes in the target's emotions as well, and can elicit anger or fear. They can use this technology to affect the nervous system and cause pain in certain areas of the body, such as the joints and back, as well as amplify the pain from a cut or burn. They can cause headaches, nausea, tinnitus. They can cause a person to hyperventilate or have shortness of breath. They can cause muscle tics and painful spasms, mucus production, and salivation. They can even use this technology in reverse to get readings on your thoughts. Folks, there are technologies that exist, such as CFL light bulbs, that can activate substances that get into your body by means of vaccinations and intentional pollution. Many people report getting splitting headaches from these light bulbs that emit certain frequencies. If we go a step further, they can use certain electromagnetic pulse technologies to cause electrical surges and power outages, as well as disrupt electronic devices or equipment, such as kitchen appliances, temperature controls, and they can also cause vehicles to break down. This is all considered electronic harassment or assault, and if this is happening to you, pray that it does not go to the next level. There are direct energy weapons that can be used to cause unbelievable pain throughout your body. It can burn you, boil your blood, shut down specific organs, stop your heart, cause internal hemorrhaging. In other words, they can, of course, use this technology to kill. This is all covert targeting from a distance. But what about the targeted individuals who fall into the category of mind control, in which the target is actually kidnapped, tortured, and given implants? Well, that's another subtopic for discussion. If this is a shadow government operation working in cooperation with federally funded government agencies such as the CIA, NSA, and FBI, then you can bet the reason for them targeting an individual is for the testing and experimentation in the field in real time, in order to further the advancement of this technology and develop weaponry that does not require ammunition, to develop a protocol that can be used on citizens at a time of rebellion to control and incapacitate them. And this weaponry can be used to fool people to believing in a paranormal event or hoax, or simulate what people could believe to be alien weapons. I want to continue forward with this topic. I want to look deeper into the technologies. I want to discuss the people who claim to be targeted and the other methods used to target them. I also want to discuss what people can do to protect themselves from these weapons. We all know that this is wrong, folks, in so many ways. But don't worry, this will probably not end well for these criminals, because if the number of people who are being targeted by these weapons continues to increase, then eventually these targeted individuals will learn and understand these weapons. They will begin to build these weapons privately, and they will use them to fight and take down the perpetrators of these crimes against humanity.